Hi folks, welcome to today's Coffee with John. I'm in a jacket. I couldn't go as far as a tie because it's a special day today here in Australia. This is a cultural thing for me that I just don't get at all, but I think it's wonderful. It's Good Friday, so everyone's on holiday. The shops are closed, even the chemists are closed, and people will actually come to church. I'm recording this about half an hour before we have our Good Friday service, and I'm really surprised that people come, but I am anticipating that there will be people who will come who wouldn't normally come to church. I think it's a wonderful tradition, and in honor of that, when it's a special occasion, I put on a jacket. I've also got my cufflinks, which my wonderful daughter-in-law Kyrene gave us. One is a picture of or a map of Port Mahomac, and the other is a map of Dundee. Just to remind me where I'm from, as if I'd ever forget. But we continue to look. I know it's Good Friday, and Christ died for his church, but the devil keeps trying to disrupt the church. And this is one way he does it, through people like Diotrephes, who loves to be first. So verse 10 says this: "So when I come, I will call attention to what he's doing, spreading malicious nonsense about us. Not satisfied with that, he even refuses to welcome other believers. He also stops those who want to do so and puts them out of the church." So there are three things that he does. First is malicious nonsense and gossip. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I know anything more harmful than that. I remember going to a meeting once and someone coming up afterwards and saying, "You're not as evil as they say you are." That was a non-Christian. But from a Christian perspective, I remember two ladies coming from a church, a more traditional area, and coming to Dundee. And they came out and I said to them, "How did you enjoy the service?" And they said, "We loved it. We were astonished you preached the gospel." Well, they'd come from another free church, and the minister there had told them that I was someone who did not preach the gospel. What a horrendous thing to say. I can give numerous other examples of that. But there's malicious gossip in many, many ways. Subtle innuendos and some not so subtle. So that's one thing that he was doing. The other thing that he was doing is he refuses to welcome other believers. He wasn't showing the hospitality that John has just been speaking about. And worse than that, he disciplined those who did so and wanted to put them out of the church. Now I've been using David Jackman's, and I love what David Jackman says here. "Too many congregations have been held in the grip of petty tyrants for us to regard this sad phenomenon as extraordinary. Destroying unity, flaunting authority, making up his own rules to safeguard his position, spreading lies about those who he had designated as enemies, cutting off other Christians on suspicion of guilt by association. The catalogue is appalling." There is only one who can be first in the church and can have preeminence, and that's Christ. And we must always say that, not just say it, but act it out, because it's too easy to usurp Christ's lordship in order to elevate ourselves. Jesus says about the people who devour widows' houses, the people who set themselves up in that way, make long prayers for a pious show, these men will be punished most severely. I think it's just such a solemn warning to us. And again, in the church, yesterday we talked about how narcissism was so prevalent, but this authoritarianism and personal advancement by an authoritarian leader is so damaging. I think I've met probably more Christians who've been damaged by that than almost by anything else within the church. So let's make sure we don't go there. If you're in any position of leadership at all, then don't go there. And if you're not, please pray for your leader that they would not develop this tendency. And by the way, don't assume that just because they say something with which you disagree that they're being authoritarian. Sometimes you have to use authority to deal with people, but you have to do so in the right way. So God bless you, and see you on Easter Monday. Bye.